Brad, we are living in what could be called some trying times with some divisiveness, not only in our nation at large, but within the workforce itself. How do you lead through that, creating a sense of identity and diversity and inclusivity among your team members?
When I meet people, one of the first things I do is I think, what do I have in common with this person? So I'll say, where are you from? Not that they're going to be from the same place I'm from, but I probably know somebody there, or I spent time there. We start talking about how wonderful their downtown is, or some great restaurant. You start a conversation with somebody like that as opposed to who'd you vote for in the last election. The first time I noticed this, back when we did the first Plan Bay Area, 2013, there was a effort by the Tea Party to disrupt our meetings. They would literally line up, grab the mic, not let it go, and start screaming. So we changed the way we did it. We didn't do lines of people that talk. We did tables around a room where people could talk about issues. And I went to one of the meetings in Solano, and one of the leaders, the disruptors, came up to me and got very aggressive and very nasty. And I didn't react. I said, I can understand why you are upset about this, but how would you deal with this problem? How would you improve this? And it totally threw him off balance. He started talking to me about, well, you guys should be doing this. Well, how would you do that? I kept asking questions. Well, how would you do that? How would you make that happen? And we got into this conversation. He totally calmed down. It became a very respectful conversation, and all of his friends who were there to disrupt this meeting thought he needed help. So they came up, and I was talking to 6 or 7 of these people with a video camera in my face for an hour. And at the end of it, he said, look, I don't agree with you, but I really appreciate the fact that you actually listened to what I had to say. And I'm walking out of the meeting, and we had 2 armed police there because things had gotten really nasty at early meetings. They got violent. So this one officer walked up to me and said, what's your job here? Turned out he was the head of the security company at LA that we hired, and he'd heard these horrible stories. And he said, I was watching what you're doing. You drew we knew who the bad actors were. You drew them all to you, but there was no fight. And I said, I just talked to them. I had a conversation. They actually had 2 or 3 good ideas we might even be able to incorporate in a plan. And if people feel respected and heard, you can make them feel safe, even in a situation like that.
Well, what I hear you saying, Brad, is that you're validating someone's experience. You're not trying to tell them they're wrong. You're validating it, asking for more information, and finding a solution. Again, because of that open communication. It's amazing when you ask open-ended questions what you might learn.